Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. This is your September bonus reading, and we are going to jump right in here. You have this Strength and Wisdom card, and you also have this card that says, use your skills to aid others. And yeah, you are a little bit of a wizard right now, Taurus. So I do think it would be a good time for you to use your skills and the things that you've learned over a very long time. Again, I think at the end of Uranus and Taurus, this is kind of like what you're meant to do, is show people how to gain freedom. And you might be saying Uranus is in Gemini, and you would be correct, but it is also going to retrograde back into Taurus one more time. And so I believe the day that it enters back into Taurus will be November 7th. So again, I think that for you, from a spiritual perspective, I feel it would be an excellent time for you to be like an inspiration to other people, especially if you've set yourself free from anything or you've healed from anything in your life, like sharing your story. Things like that, that could benefit others, will be very good for you. So, you will, what I'm trying to say is, like, you will get karmic rewards for that if you work with that energy, right? So, I do think that is a good thing for you to do right now, specifically, like at the end of the year here, right? In your, how you are entering into the reading, the first card, when I do a Celtic cross, the first card is like your current general energies or how you're entering into the Celtic cross. And you have the Page of Wands here. And the Page of Wands, I don't know what's going on. This camera keeps dipping lower and lower and lower for some reason. But anyway, Page of Wands is about going on an adventure. And so I feel for a lot of you that you could be going on some sort of adventure right now. You could be thinking about traveling as well, as popping into my head. I do feel like, didn't I say this to you recently, Taurus? I'm pretty sure it was you, but I do feel a lot of movement for some reason. I think I said this to you in your last reading, but it's almost like, there are no cards of moving or movement here yet, except for the Eight of Wands. But I do feel like a lot of movement, I'm not even saying that you're like moving. You could just be, there could be a lot of movement in your life at this time, and it might literally be starting as we enter into September. So this could be something that you're, kind of dealing with, but it doesn't feel bad. It just feels, like you're busy, or, there could be some busyness coming in for you in general. Next, you have the Seven of Pentacles as your crossing energy. The crossing energy in the Celtic cross can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And the Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. He's looking at these Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? So he has to decide whether or not it is worth it for him to invest his time, effort, and energy into something he's been working on, or if it would be better for him to change direction. I don't know. I think you as a fixed sign, what I would say, Taurus, is that I do think with Pluto and Aquarius, another fixed sign, that it would be a good time for you to think about kind of like the things that you want to set yourself free from. But I also feel like you are one of the signs that is ready for a reinvention. Like, there are a couple of signs I feel in the astrology that are specifically being asked to, do something new with their lives. And you are definitely one of them. So I think that a lot of you, Tauruses, it's like, whether you realize it or not, you could be doing things, or, you could be having thoughts that are kind of like guiding you towards working on something new or creating something new in your life that sets you free, like we already said. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you were doing that. I also feel like you're more, I do feel good about this, is what I'm trying to spit out here. I feel that you are like more confident or something about the work that you do, which is good. So I do feel like there is a positive side to the Seven of Pentacles. Like, you're valuing yourself more. He's kind of like looking at his value, right? He's analyzing what he has grown. And so I feel good about that. I'm not sure where that's going. Maybe we'll find out. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Knight of Cups here. There's like a little bit of love here. So for some of you, sure, I think this could be love. But again, if we look at the reading in general so far, it is definitely more financially focused on you as well. So the Knight of Cups can be a dream. He is standing in front of this water here, but he's standing in the desert. And, basically nothing really grows in the desert. So the whole point of the card is that he has water here. And he could easily plant seeds in front of that water and they would grow. So again, it says, even if you think you can't do something, or even if you think something won't work, it would be worth it to try, anyway. Because, you might just surprise yourself. And, especially in regards to like a dream that you're having, Taurus, or, if there's something that would make you feel more happy, I would do that. I also think like there's like something about your dreams triggering your creative powers as well. It's almost like, maybe you don't think you're creative, but, you are. And I feel that the Knight of Cups is like saying that you could be having like night dreams, daydreams. You could just be imagining things in your life during the day. And I feel that these dreams are kind of like guiding you and trying to make you come up with more creative solutions in your life. So take that for what it's worth. You have the Eight of Wands in your foundation, and the Eight of Wands is quick movement, right? So again, a lot of movement here. But Eight of Wands can be like quick success, quick movement, rapid changes, things like that. I do feel like there could be rapid changes in work for you here, Taurus, but they look good, which this has been coming up for you for months. But as I always say, it's like these changes, they might not happen overnight. So they definitely have been taking their time, right? You also always get these cards of focus, I'm pretty sure. I've been noticing with you recently, the Eight of Wands is about focusing in one direction. We have to like pick one thing and make it happen with the Eight of Wands. So, definitely the Eight of Wands is about like what you choose to focus on in life. And I would make sure that this is coming up in your foundation position. It's kind of like the support for the rest of the reading. And it is saying like, your focus is going to be very important at this time. Next, in the area of your past position, can't make this up, you have this dream catcher card. I didn't even see that, and literally we just said this. It says, pay attention to the signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. Yes, I was getting something, the message I was getting on that Knight of Cups is like your dreams are trying to make you more creative. I don't even know what the hell that means, but it's like maybe your dreams are kind of like inspiring you to do something, and I would pay attention to that. You have this Moth Spirit. It says, appreciate where you are in your journey instead of wishing it were easier or different. Again, this is coming up in your past position. So this is what you are moving past. I also feel like you're letting go of something. And it's kind of interesting. I am getting a message here that some of you, it's like, if something has been dominating your mind, or your brain, it's like sometimes I think we deal with problems in life that it's like our focus on those issues, number one, makes them worse, right? And number two, it's like really hard to let go of. I don't know, kind of a weird message, but if you've been dealing with an issue or challenge or something like that is like very specific, like a specific issue or challenge, and that has kind of like dominated your attention, I feel like you could be letting go of that finally. It's like you're finally being able to move past it. And again, that might only be for some of you, but I do feel it's good. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is straightforward, diligent work. So, it's coming up in the past. But with the Seven of Pentacles as well, I do feel like you're ready to change something about what you work on. Now, I don't think this only has to be work either. This could be you working on your health or, working on your mindset or, basically anything. So I feel a lot of you are like putting the work in life to something to make it happen. But I also think you're ready for change. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say here. I thought there was going to be more, but I really don't. I would encourage you to work on your dreams though, in your creativity. Like I said, I wish I could, maybe we'll get more details as we clarify, but I wish I could say more about the whole dream creativity thing. But I just feel like you're having dreams that are like trying to make you creative about something. And again, that would be a good thing to put work into. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this abundance card, which is great, and this boundaries card. Yeah, I think you need to put up boundaries against other people and your abundance. I think that this is a long-term lesson for you, Taurus, about like things like learning how to do things like pay yourself first, for example, right? That is a spiritual principle that we should be paying ourselves first. And there's a great book that I'm not going to remember the name of, and it's that's going to drive me crazy. Now I have to go look it up. So hold on one second, Taurus. I have to look. Sorry about that, Taurus. The book I was thinking of is The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. It is like a little bit religious if you're against that sort of thing, although I would still listen to it and just ignore that part of it, right? if you don't like it. But what I would say is, again, in that book, I think one of the spiritual laws is to pay yourself first, right? And I think it's just like 10%, of your paycheck, meaning that money belongs to you, and it goes to you first, right? And sometimes we get a paycheck and it goes to everything else, right? And that is part of having boundaries with abundance, right? And that's kind of the message I was getting before I got distracted and needed to look for that book. But it is a great book, number one, and I would definitely recommend it, but. I think that's what this is about. It's about having abundance for yourself first. And that is definitely popping into my head. It's like if you're doing too much for other people, even with your abundance, and abundance doesn't have to just be money, it could be anything else, then you are going to feel left out in the cold, right? So you have the Five of Pentacles. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about this because money looks very good in this reading. King of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. We haven't even clarified yet. But 8 of Pentacles specifically says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. But again, with this boundaries card, I just feel very simple about this card. I just feel it is saying that you need to put boundaries up against against other things other than you first, money-wise. The other thing about the Five of Pentacles is that this right here is an anchor that's in this stained glass window here. And the anchor, it can kind of represent something that's keeping us stuck. And I do think I've said this to you before, Taurus, that it would be an excellent time. I'd say the next few years would be a good time to work on your money blocks, financial blockages, mental financial blockages, all those things. I think it will be worth it because you'll probably be able to clear those things out faster. In your outcome row, you have this reconnect card and this crate card. I mean, literally, I said it earlier. I think you need to reconnect with your creativity. That Knight of Cups, I literally said it. I said the word, I'm pretty sure I said the word creativity or creation on that Knight of Cups. So I think that there is a need for you to reconnect with something creative in your life or to be more creative. But, it's like sometimes I think this is like the problem that I'm feeling for you, Taurus, is that when we're younger, we come up with creative ideas and then people tell us that's stupid, right? So that crushes our creativity. And I feel this is saying you need to get back in touch with those creative ideas. And you never know what you'll be able to create if you do it, right? And that's what I would do there. You have the King of Pentacles in the area of your next few months, which is excellent, Taurus, because the King of Pentacles is you. And so this basically says that you're coming up in a position of power and strength as yourself over the next few months, which I love. The King of Pentacles has these grapes on his cloak here, and the grapes in the tarot, they represent kind of a skill that you have. And so I feel that your abundance is going to come from, getting creative with a skill that you have and using it in a unique way. And that is something I would be studying about yourself here, Taurus, definitely popping into my head. You have the 10 of Pentacles next, so this could be something that will lead to a ton of abundance if you take advantage of it. And like I said, I definitely would if I were you. But I think there could be a lot of financial abundance coming from using a skill more creatively or using something like that. I also feel by the way, I'm getting a lot of side messages for you in this reading, which is weird. But if you are looking for money for something, let's say you're trying to buy a house, I'm getting two messages here. Number one, if you are trying to buy something expensive like a house or a car, I think you're greatly overestimating what you need. I'm not saying you should be, taking a risk here and losing a bunch of money or something like that, right? I want to be clear about that. But if you have the money, but you're worried that you're going to need more or something, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Kind of a weird message to get here. But same thing if you are just wanting to move. I think some of you, it's maybe you're thinking that something is going to be way more expensive than it actually is. So I would let that fear go. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a great card for all relationships in your life. There is a family on the 10 of Pentacles, so a lot of you could be feeling more support, from your family, or you could be getting more support from your family, which is great. This is also an excellent card for, abundance in general, so I feel a lot of you could be either increasing your abundance or you are about to do things that will increase your abundance with the 10 of Pentacles, so I like to see that. I also feel that there could be people in your life that are going to help you with your abundance. So again, I think it's an excellent time for mentors and guides and things like that. So if you have anyone in your life that you consider a mentor or guide, they could literally be helping you with your finances. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the 4 of Pentacles. It's I kind of feel both ways about this, good and bad, Taurus. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Number one, I feel it's good because money looks good in this reading. I feel like you are doing something clearly to improve your finances. The problem with the 4 of Pentacles is we can make money and then we just don't want to let it go, right? I think you should read that book, now I'm not going to remember the frickin' name of the book. The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwin Gaines is the name of the book, right? So I'm going to read it again because I haven't read it in years, but it's a great book. And, one of I don't know if it's a law or whatever, but I'm pretty sure in that book that she talks about needing to keep, keep the flow going. Like if you're holding on too tightly to every last cent, then you're not getting the flow going. And I'm not suggesting you should be spending money all over the place either, right? It's about, we have to balance these things out. But again, if you're holding on too tightly, then it could be a problem. The other thing I would watch out for, we were talking about money blocks here, which I think would be an excellent thing for you to get rid of or work on right now at this time, is I've met a lot of people in my life that are very successful, and it's like, the first thing that happens when they become successful is that their first thought is, when am I going to lose it, right? When is this all going to come crashing down? When is this all going to run away? And I feel like this Four of Pentacles is saying, like, number one, I think there's two attitudes that you can have about that type of fear, right? The first one is, so what, right? Because you did it once. I always like to remind people when they become successful like that, I'm like, you've already done it, so you can easily do it again. So what if it goes away, right? You will be able to do it again. You've already proven to yourself you can. And so that's like one mindset. The other mindset I think you can have is just to not even think about it in the first place, and to just focus on what's in front of you right now and keep doing the things that got you to that place in the first place, right? Your outcome is a Page of Cups. Could be a little bit of love here. We're going to clarify in just a second, and we'll see. So if you want love, definitely could be love. You've been getting love with me for a little while, Taurus, so kind of makes sense. The Page of Cups can also be a dream. And again, I think tapping into that dream creativity, whatever you want to call it, would be a good idea. It's like maybe what the reading is really trying to say is that your dreams are maybe literally giving you ideas for the real world, And I would get creative with those ideas because it shows up in the reading. With the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, when a card repeats, it's basically the universe saying, I meant what I said, There could be some sort of change in direction coming in for you financially. So if you are hoping to improve your finances or anything like that, there could be some improvements coming in here. And again, I do think there's a change in direction, like in work or business or something for you. It feels good though, Taurus. Like I said, it's like whatever this, like I wouldn't, like this is not like a you're getting fired change. This is like something positive. So, I definitely like to see that. Yes, with the Knight of Cups, you have the Three of Cups. Again, other people are probably going to be very helpful for you, so surrounding yourself with the right people. Also, like I said, we're in kind of like a little bit of a time of mentors. So mentors, guides here on Earth, people that we consider to be guides for us, kind of developing those types of relationships, all that. Can be very good for us right now. And I think everybody should be doing this, but you definitely, it's coming up in your reading, so it would be a very good time for you to do that. These three ladies are also celebrating a harvest, and we see a lot of great harvest energy here in this reading. Even the Eight of Wands, it's not necessarily a harvest, but it is a result, right? So it can represent receiving a result or getting some sort of result in your life that you've been waiting for, because the Eight of Wands is a quick conclusion. It's like getting to the end of something that you've been waiting for. So, again, I think that for a lot of you, this could just be you celebrating some sort of result. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Lovers. Yes, if you want love, you could be communicating with like a new person here. The Eight of Wands is a great card for meeting a person through socializing as well. I do think we are in a great time for meeting a person through being social. So it's like, getting out of the house, meeting people in public, not sitting on your couch and doing it, right? So I think it is a great time for that if you want love. The Lovers can also be your path. And, one thing I do like about the Eight of Wands is just like, let's pretend this isn't love, the Lovers. This can be a card of being at a crossroads and having a choice to make. And, with the Eight of Wands here, it could represent a certain amount of certainty coming in for you. And it basically says, remember, I think I used the word confidence earlier, because I do feel that for you here, Taurus, where it's almost like the reading is saying there is a certain level of confidence coming in for you, or you're feeling more confident, maybe about your path or about your direction. So yeah, I feel good about that. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is about charging forward towards success. But in the past position, it can say that you are choosing to not be too hasty. It is funny that he is running even further into the past, the Knight of Swords, right? And so I feel like this is saying you're giving things more time to develop. It's like, I don't really have any good examples for you, Taurus, but sometimes I feel like, people don't give things enough time, and then other times I think people give things too much time, right? So it's like if you're working on a project, it's like how much time do you give it before you decide it's working or not, right? And I feel like you're kind of finding a little bit of a Goldilocks zone here in your life of like how much time you should give things. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Devil. I would be careful, definitely, of past devils. We have these two eclipses this month. On the 7th, we have the Pisces eclipse. On the 21st, we have the Virgo eclipse. The weird thing about eclipses is that they're not really like retrograde energy, but there is like this element of fate and destiny with eclipses. So it's like sometimes I think eclipses can bring people back from the past. Obviously, on this channel, I tell people not to go back to the past. You can do whatever you want. People always say to me, "Why do you hate exes?" I don't hate exes, but for the most part, it doesn't work. People love to tell me, my grandparents met on the Titanic and they broke up, and then after they came back to New York, they found each other again and got married. I'm like, great, you are not on your grandparents, and you were definitely not on the Titanic, so I don't care, right? It's like nowadays, for the most part, an ex is an ex for a reason, but feel free to do whatever you want. Again, I'm not, like I said, I don't hate exes. You can do whatever you want. Go for it. But again, I'm just not going to sit here and lie. There is an entire industry built around getting exes back. But that industry just preys on people's, desire to get their ex back, their obsession with the ex, right? I refuse to be part of that, right? Because for the most part, it very rarely works, right? And the other thing I will get on my soapbox for is you would be better served just not even thinking about the ex and making your life better, right? I think what people should do after a breakup is it is your duty to make your life as good as you possibly can, to get into shape, to fix your health, to fix your mental health, to fix whatever you need to fix, right? Become the best version of yourself you possibly can be. Because when you do that, then you will look in the mirror and you will say, my ex was actually a little bit of a slob, and look at me, I look great. So, you know what? I deserve better, right? So I'd rather have people build up their confidence. There you go, rant over. But I would be careful of that energy with the Devil. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, really, just typical Taurus reading, all about you, right? I think the Nine of Pentacles is saying that, it's a card of independence, but amazing card for abundance, gratitude, luxuries, things that Taurus loves. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about that. I think that's just good for Taurus energy, plain and simple. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands, creative energy. Ten of Wands is creation, the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. It's a birth. It kind of symbolizes a certain part of the male body that I probably can't say on YouTube. I don't know anymore. YouTube is run by 3-year-olds, so there you go. But what I would say here is that the Ace of Wands can represent creation, right? And so I think it is an amazing creative time for you, Taurus, and I would tap into that creative energy. I would also make sure you're doing things that you want to do. The thing about the Ace of Wands is we have to feed passion with the Ace of Wands. That is the action we can take with a card. So I think doing more things that you're passionate about, being around people that you're passionate about, all that would be very good. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. Four Cups can represent having been disappointed before. He's been disappointed at least 3 times, and now he's being offered this 4th cup, but he's not accepting it because of his past disappointments. So the Four of Cups can say, you need to accept this new opportunity into your life because it, could lead to a lot more success. So, there could be new opportunities coming in for you here, Taurus, that could lead to a lot of abundance and success. But I think you need to accept new opportunities into your life. With the Page of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, see, number one, very good for love, right? But the Queen of Cups is a card that you get with me frequently, Taurus. The Queen of Cups says you have to follow your heart. And how many times over the last, several months have I said that it's time for you to follow your heart? Like a lot, right? You have this Wreath card. It says sorrow over loss. Yeah, I would definitely let go of past losses, anything that you're holding on to. Again, we have Pluto retrograde until October 14th. And Pluto retrograde is about sometimes we have to realize that we have to let things die. I do think, but one thing I would say, kind of if you want to get super funny about this, Taurus, if there ever was a time to obsess over an ex, it would probably be Pluto retrograde. Because again, because of what I said. Pluto retrograde is about going deeper. And again, of course, I'm not speaking literally. I'm sure someone's going to take that literally and be like, how dare you tell people to obsess over their ex, right? Get over yourself, number one, whoever's going to do that. Number two, Again, I'm not saying literally, but Pluto is about going deep into something, and it's about kind of like doing the research, especially retrograde. We can revisit things that we've been through in the past, and we can realize, what, I realized that wasn't good for me, during the Pluto retrograde and things like that. So, I would actually kind of like encourage the research as long as you're doing it from a growth perspective, right? You have this bear. It says danger, especially in money matters. Money looks good in this reading, but I do think this is saying it would be a good time to work on, those money blocks and things like that. You have this chair empty. It says someone is leaving your life. Clearly, someone new is entering your life, I would say. So, again, for those of you that want a connection, I don't think anyone's leaving. I think that really this is talking about a new person. If you already have a person, I think things are fine, because love looks pretty good in this reading. And here you go. You have this marriage card. So, if you want love, sure, you could be getting married. You have this axe card. It says forces working against you. I feel like everybody feels like this right now, and I would just say that it's probably not true. We had Mars retrograde last year into the beginning of this year. Mercury went retrograde just recently in exactly almost the same part of the sky. Next year, Jupiter goes retrograde in almost exactly the same part of the sky. It goes retrograde in Leo. It's going to move into Leo, short period of time, then it's going to retrograde back into Cancer. So again, kind of interesting. It's like this, almost the same part of the sky has been triggered by 3 retrogrades almost in a row. I don't know. I think it could trigger this type of feeling. So there you go. But this looks pretty good, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.